Roddy Ricch, Live Life Fast album review. Let's chat about it. Hey guys, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here today with my final review of the year. No, I did not get a chance to chat about those three new Tierra Whack EPs. I didn't have enough to say about them, and I needed to keep the ball rolling, so to speak. So I wanted to give my quick thoughts on Mr. Roddy Ricch's new album, and then we are in list mode for the rest of the week. Tomorrow we're going to be chatting about my favorite EPs of the year. The next day we're going to be chatting about my favorite singles of the year. And finally, we're going to be chatting about our favorite albums of the year. Which leads me to this new one from Roddy Ricch. This guy's a Compton-based MC. He's been at it for a few years now. He skyrocketed to fame back in 2019 with his gigantic single, The Box. I liked it quite a bit as well as his debut album, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. And truthfully, I didn't hate the whole thing. I didn't hate a lot of it, actually. Listen, modern pop rap is an absolute freaking wasteland. I never want to hear Big Sean on anything for the rest of my life. No, but for a modern pop rap album, this actually had some serious bangers on there. Perfect Time, Big Stepper, Boom Boom Room. These were all really great pop rap tunes. But consistency was my issue with the album. There was a lot to this album, but it didn't really seem to go anywhere. I felt like Roddy thought that this album was a lot bigger than it actually was. Not only that, but when this album was bad, whoa, Nelly was it bad. I'm looking directly at tracks like God's Eyes and PETA. But leading up to this new album, I wanted to hear what Roddy was up to. I was curious to see how he'd grown in a couple of years, and I thought the single leading up to this album was actually a pretty decent pop rap cut as well. Let's chat about this thing. I mean, I'm just going to say it, this album isn't perfect, but once again, it does have a good chunk of real quality pop rap to it. Like this album's intro, I think it's actually a pretty solid intro. It's gritty, it's grim, I love the spoken word portion, it's oddly cinematic. And while a little overblown, and absolutely it is a little full of itself, I still think it's actually a pretty solid opener. It brings a little substance to what we actually get on this album. Thailand also is a serious banger. I love the booming beat, I love how confident Roddy Ricch sounds. This is pretty spicy. Like I said, there is so much modern garbage in pop rap. This is not bad at all. It also has a little grittiness to it that wasn't there on his debut album. I like this a lot. Then we have Hibachi, which is another knockout. And honestly, it's a great reminder of what this album could be. I love this hazy beat here that's powered by flute samples. It brings me back to the 90s for some weird reason. But there are so many moments on this track where he sounds so much more sleek and so much more in control of his flow. I can't help but be really, happy with it. We also have some great features here. 21 Savage sounds just as grisly and cold as ever. And Kodak Black, who usually I cannot stand on a track, actually sounds right home here. The Party, on the other hand, is pretty sleek as well. Love this piano beat. It's in these more upbeat and smooth kind of tracks that I feel like Roddy really shines. It's actually a really great track though. Has a lot of fantastic lines. It's a really sleek banger. Much like his debut album, when this album is bad, it gets downright awful. Really fast too. When I first heard the beat to All Good, I actually got up and groove and I thought this was pretty sharp. And it's a shame because at the end of the day, Roddy's verse is incredibly underwritten. The cheesy lines are just all over the place. This just sounds like a Drake ripoff, but like a Drake ripoff that's 10 years too late. And honestly, he has zero chemistry with Future, who sounds terrible here. Roller Coastin' is one of the worst tracks here. This is a little too poppy for me, and his performance, Roddy Ricch's performance here, no bueno. Like, put some freaking passion in your performance. Put some heart into it. This is terrible. And on top of that, we have what sounds like Roddy Ricch trying to do his best Young Thug impression. I want to like this, but this is rough. Paid My Dues is seriously freaking rough as well. And you know what? I usually like tracks that take off from Migos that pops in on. But this is so faceless. This is so freaking faceless all around. This is just not up to par with some of the better moments here. Just not. It's flimsy, and the second that it's done, I can't tell you the first thing about it. And No Way is easily the most obnoxious track here. My God. That's what the issue with this album is. There is so little middle ground with it. There's a lot of really classy, genuinely likable pop rap here. but it's not like there's some middle of the road tracks here. There's a handful of really great tracks, and then a load of some of the worst pop rap I've heard in ages. And Jamie Foxx's stupid interlude here. No, nobody needed this. And then we get bizarre moments like Slow It Down, featuring Alex Isley and Ty Dolla $ign. 55 seconds. This track takes 55 seconds, and it just sounds so incomplete and inconsistent, and just, it's a weird choice. The rest of this album bops around from being some seriously quality trap and some quality pop rap to just another face in this sea of faceless pop rap. Like, by the time we get to Man Made, send hell, please. We've gone from classy to genuinely, like, so unbearable so quick. This is horrifyingly bad, and I think it's the worst track here. Even his flow here just sounds so off-kilter and goofy and out of pace. Look, you know I want to support him in everything that he does, but then I hear tracks like this, and no, I can't. Then we have Murda 1, which honestly might be the best track here. It's not really close either. This track is awesome. This track is a banger, man. It goes freaking hard. I love the explosive Kenny beats. I love Fivio Foreign's feature, and he's usually someone that I could care less about. This is all around where this album should be. There are some poppier moments on here that come off very tasteful. There's some bangers on here that go freaking hard. But then there's the rest of this album that just kind of flowed aimlessly between the two, really facelessly. It's bad. This is not good. Everything you need is really awful, really annoying, and most importantly, odd. Also get tracks like Move to Miami, which are just a really, really late album treat. The glistening synths, the crisp production, the percussion here, my god, the grooves on this track are freaking spicy. I love how dramatic it is as well, and when Roddy pops in, his performance is one of his most confident on this entire album. Lil Baby also sounds fantastic. This is what I mean, though. This is great. I just wish this album was more consistent, but it's not. And just when I thought I heard the worst that this album had to offer, Don't Die comes around, and good lord, this Gunna feature is making me rethink everything. This is repetitive garbage and a dangerous low. I mean, Bibby's interlude is fine. It's, you know, a minute and a half. It's light on the ears. It's not terrible. I actually thought some of the atmosphere on More Than a Trend was actually pretty cool. Once again, love the production, love the beat here. Then Roddy comes in with cheeseball line after cheeseball line, and I'm just so fed up by this. It has potential. It really does. But I don't think Roddy lives up to the hype on this album. And because this album couldn't be even more frustrating for me, I think he ends off with two of the best tracks here. I still don't think Late at Night is bad at all. It's catchy, it's icy cold. This is just a great pop rap tune. Production is solid, the beat is solid, Roddy sounds fine, I have no issues. And honestly, 25 Million as a finale, it might be the best track here. I think it actually is. For the heavier side of Roddy Ricch, look no further. This track is oozing with swagger. It's not like Roddy doesn't have anything going for him. He's got plenty going for him. And honestly, when this album is on, he's the voice of pop rap right now that I'm not hating that much. He's one that I would like to hear some more of still. It's consistency. This album is 18 tracks long, but between interludes and dangerous lows, trust me, it did not need to be 18 tracks long. I feel like he thinks this is so much of a bigger statement than it actually is, and that's kind of an issue. That's kind of where the big issue is. When this album is good, it's actually, you know, some pretty solid, genuinely confident pop rap that I wouldn't mind hearing more of. But the lows on this album are very, 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 very much so turning me off to this. I'm feeling a light 4 on this album. You know what? Screw that. I'm feeling a strong 4 on this album, because there is a lot of good material here. But let me know what you guys think down below. If you liked the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.